When I ask people what's the biggest issue in Japan, many say that's inflation and stagnated economy, which most other countries are facing right now, but especially for Japan, domestic sales inevitably shrink with population decline and weaken. So it makes a lot of sense, especially today, that we target global market or branch out overseas to grow our industries, which major corporations already doing so.
They're trying to find ways to market their products to the outside world much more aggressively. But it's really hard for a small company or medium-sized company to start to do that, but it's becoming more necessary, I think, in this coming economy because I see the yen getting weaker.
Based on a survey I checked, the interest clearly there, and regarding where they want to market, the United States would be most promising for them, followed by China and India. So especially for companies that want to expand into the States, this may be giving them a big opportunity.
これやっぱり日本にとっての大チャンスなんですよね。アメリカに行って仕事ビジネスすればいいんですよ。で、しっかり稼げばいいわけで、そのためには日本人がアメリカに乗り込んで、今アメリカが物を作るっていう。
Dollar is going to keep getting stronger, trying to branch out into the United States. So having a close relationship with America is quite important, more so than people realize. Maybe have a branch or two in Texas or in New York, Ohio or California, or a ramen shop outside of a university town. You would do so much business if you open up a ramen shop chain outside a university. Oh my goodness.
While expanding globally is more and more important economic-wise, Japan's English level keeps getting down compared to other countries, and still few people might feel the necessity to improve English. Some of the reasons why excuse I often hear from young people would be, for example, we got those technologies, right? So why bother improving my English? I don't feel like going overseas, so hard to feel the necessity, especially nowadays.
Some of my students argue like, this is Japan, we don't need English. I can see why it's not necessary for most people's daily life. So they lose motivation very quickly.
日本円が今みたいに特に弱くなってくると、やっぱり外に出ていかないと。で、そのために AI があるからなんとかなるだろう、なることもあるかもしれないけど、業種とか一緒に働く方とか、かなり難しいところは出てくるんじゃないかと思います。
Another reason why some young people are not so motivated is that their efforts don't seem to match the result. To get into a top university, they've spent a lot of time and money, but they realize at some point that they still can't speak English well. So it feels like a huge waste. In most cases, that's kind of their peak, and only keeps getting down, which is another reason they feel disappointed.
中高で、勉強してきて授業取ったにもかかわらず、なかなか話せない。話せないっていうのは自分自身が勉強してないって問題もあるんですけど、大学入った時が一番高くて、そこからもう落ちていってしまっているというような。
I just don't have any opportunity to speak English with someone, so my English level is getting worse day by day. That's why my English is really bad.
Which is clearly not true, but maybe that's how many other young people feel about their English. So when they go into a university where many foreign students in the same campus, especially the case in Tokyo, they are missing a lot of opportunities to get to know about other cultures.
This campus, there are many foreign students. But most of Japanese students are not confident in speaking English. Japanese people can read, can write, but it's not good at listening and especially speaking.
International students come here, just want to talk, and then you hardly find people who can speak English here. They are not very confident.
In a way, you might already feel that you are wanted there, and most Japanese students now willing to have a conversation with you, which could frustrate you even more.
People will say, oh, thanks to this ChatGPT, I can ask in Japanese. I don't need to have English. Thanks to this Google Translate, I don't have to learn English by myself. But you never know that if this translate is correct or not.
When you are just here in Japan, only speak Japanese, you don't see the need. But then the world is slowly becoming global. You are in one way or the other going to interact globally. It's just important to speak English, to be able to interact in the international world, I think.
今の大学生の話を伺うと、一生懸命勉強して話せるようにならなくって全然役に立たないっていうね。試験とか突破してきて文法も語彙力もかなりある子でも実際その 会話したことがないとか、異文化との交流の方法っていうのに慣れていない。どうしても日本人は日本人、外国人は外国人固まってしまう。国際理解なんか進まないですよね。
Quite often Japanese regrets her when they finally went overseas. She graduated from one of the top universities in Japan, which requires a high English level to enter. But even someone like her struggled a lot in the States and got disappointed that she couldn't speak or listen English well.
First semester, I was really struggling with listen to what they are saying. Native speakers speak very fast. I pretended that I was understanding totally and like, interesting, okay. But I couldn't understand at all the conversation. I'm the only person who cannot speak English very well. English skill required to get accepted to Keio University is gonna be just reading skill. I was just able to read very fast and write a little bit. That's all. I had to study from basic speaking and listening and totally new things for me.
In any other country, for example in Germany at least, student expects that a foreign language teacher must speak the foreign language well. But that doesn't apply to English teachers in Japan.
Even English teachers don't always need to take a speaking test to get their license. So they don't have to speak English to become English teachers, which I think is ridiculous.
Level of English of teacher is sometimes not higher than student level. We should improve the skill of teacher. But now the ALT, like a native English speaker teacher is in the school, but I think it's not enough because regarding to my high school, there's only one native speaker of English. It's not enough.
But working in Japan is not really desirable, especially today. Many things discourage you from moving here. But whether you are Japanese or foreigner, not many people want to become teachers in Japan.
Yeah, I'm an Eikaiwa teacher, so my main job is doing conversations with people. Some of my older students have taken English for a long time, but barely spoken any English. So some of them can't really have a conversation.
Pass this test and then pass this test, and it doesn't really carry on into their real life or in the future. I wish they would focus more on how they could actually use English.
The ways that students are taught English is very stressful in Japan. They don't know what sound each letter makes. They don't understand letters. So they're memorized 200 words, but they don't know how to read and write. I'm like, wow, that sounds very stressful to try to memorize every word and you cannot read.
Approach in Japan of pronunciation, I don't like it. In most of the English textbook, there are katakana, like apple, it will write apple in katakana. And I think it's really bad because people will try to read katakana instead of the original English.
For example, it is. We pronounce itoizu, but it's actually it is. They sound completely different. And Japanese people don't know it. So it's natural for us to struggle with listening. Looking back, I don't remember doing the pronunciation practice.
Really makes sense why I'm getting comments like it, which indicates how fucked up Japan's English education is. And people, especially teenagers, can be easily discouraged. But even that aside, many Japanese people try to be perfect when it comes to speaking English. And this is quite common to hear. But this basically means they are not gonna speak English probably forever.
You never speak, and then not speaking is not gonna take you to anywhere.
This feeling that people have that they should be speaking English and maybe everyone else is able to speak English, but they can't speak English is like a secret shame that a lot of people have.
特に小学校英語が始まったことで非常にハードな状態なんですね。小学校の先生は教員免許英語はないので、英語の教え方がわからないまま、苦手な英語をしなきゃいけないっていうのは、やらない方が良かったって声も結構聞こえるんですよね。
They're doing a job that they don't know how to do. It's really unfair to their students, and of course it's really unfair to the teachers as well.
喋れなかったらいけないっていうのは言い方が難しいんですけれども、これからの時代は特にやっぱり話せる。
We learn English at least like 5 years or 6 years, right? But we still don't speak English, so I think that's a big problem.
The solution is already right in front of us. It's going to be, I think, robots and AI, Westerners might have a negative outlook on the robotics, whereas Japan probably takes more positive vision that robots are the future, because we can't find people to do that.
Those technologies surely help us a lot when tourists come, but could be taking away a lot of opportunities for cultural interchange in a campus or classroom, and possibly bringing down our English level.
レポート書くとかは正直すごいできると思います。ただ話せない言語でアプリで会話するってなんて不便だろうっていうのもちょっとおかしな感じになったりとか、この言語を理解してるってのはすごく大事だと思うんですね。
Like logically, yes, you can communicate through the app, but it's not like how you actually want to get to know people and make connections.
海外進出しようとか、海外にもう視点も出そうっていうレベルになるといろいろ難しいところはあると思うので、将来のためにはすごく大切なのかなというふうに思ってますね。
It's not just about improving our economy, but reducing our bias against foreigners in Japan. At least based on my experience, being able to speak English gave me a lot of opportunity to learn about other cultures, different perspectives or standards. And the Japanese people I know who speak English well tend to have much more tolerant or open-minded views towards other ethnicities or cultures. And maybe that's a big benefit.
メリットの一つなんですけど、偏見がない子供が育つとか、異文化とか人種に対する理解、英語のまま理解ができるので、文化背景も理解できるんですよね。コミュニケーションとしてはレベルが全然上がって、外人さんだみたいなのとかって今の大人世代はまだすごく染み込んでいるので、なんで人種問題も話せるようになるっていうのはすごく大事だと思います。
Some people say something mean, some negative comments about your English, but don't be afraid of making mistakes. You don't have to be perfect. You try not to be perfect and be okay with making mistakes. That's one most important message that I have for you.